Hey guys, so welcome back to the channel. I have another interesting video. Well, hopefully an interesting video. Well, as you can see here, well, let me move the iPad out of the capture. I don't think it's in there, but all right. So we got a 2008. This is an E-250 instrument cluster from a local customer here on Virginia. Let me just adjust this a little bit so I can see more of you guys. I'm using the iPad to see where you guys are watching. But yeah, so as you see, the cluster has one needle broken from the fuel level, and this was not completely apart because it came with this cover installed. Let me just show you. This cover was in there, but definitely somebody was here because I mean we have fingerprints in here, a broken needle. I mean, hopefully the camera's picking this up, but we have like a fluid or something in there, and then no cover on the back. This use a cover on the back, a plastic cover to protect the actual cluster from shorting out or get damaged by the wiring because this is exposed in the back like this. It's just a plastic cover, nothing like a fancy. It's just like a layer of a maybe 3 millimeter plastic on it. That's it. All right, but so this is the way the cluster came here. All right, so I'm going to remove the needles. I hope you guys like the new angle that I'm trying to give you here. This is trying to improve as much as I can so the experience on the videos are better for you. I will probably in the next one I'm going to have another camera which I have all the equipment that I need to attach because I have to put the I'm using one of my Sony cameras to record what you're seeing now. This I hope is going to improve tremendously the quality of the video. And then, as you will see shortly, I can then record a screen of the computer if I need to show uh, like a wiring or something like that, which I can do now. Let me just see. Screen. I think it's this one. Yes. So, all right. So you have now the screen, which I'm going to show you. Again, just a short commercial. This is the website, Mike Salazar Diagnostics. So if you want to send any modules, I have make this as simple as possible for anyone to visit the website. So you're going to look for Mike Salazar Diagnostics. Yes, my name is spelled M-A-I-C and sounds as Mike. Um, this is where you see, but you can scroll down and you can see more. I got all the videos and everything. I put multiple buttons with this fill this form to send a module because a lot of people are like, oh, do I need to fill paperwork? Yes, you can click in here. That's going to open a Word document that you can open and then print. Make sure that you put your name, address, everything that says in there. If you're sending an instrument cluster, well, then just put a cluster in there, the part number, what concerns you have. And I also put a line in there for like a key. If you are sending a key sometimes, especially with like 4 clusters or so or computers, sometimes I request to send the key. Just make sure that you put yes if you're sending the key or no if you're not sending it. And I put like 3 lines, or if you're sending an instrument cluster, fill the first line with the concerns of that. If you're sending the computer, fill the second line with the concerns you have in the computer, and so on, right? All right, going back into this repair. Let me cancel that. All right, so I have the wire diagram in here for the wire diagrams. As you see, I did my homework before. So we have, it's pretty basic. I have the connectors in here, which I can show you. Let me go on to powers and grounds original. This is the original from Ford. So we have in pin 1 in connector C2020V. And let me pull the connector so we can see all here as well. So we have connectors 2028. I'm just going to open all the PDFs so we can all see together. The 22A is an 18 pin, and the 22B, again, C to a 220, yeah, 220V is a 26, and we have the pin outs in here, which is pretty nice from Ford to give us all this information. I know that I need powers and grounds, the CAN bus to communicate, and I have actually, if required, I have the actual path transceiver that you have seen me use in the past to see if I can get it to react better. Because as far as they're concerns, let me before I show this, so let me go into Control D to hide this 1 second because I want to. What is this? Yeah, no. Yeah, you're now watching me this because I need to cover some information because in the information he sent me is all his name and everything. So I want to make sure that I am not showing that. So just bear with me for a second. I'm downloading the information that I have and put them in the same folder. So I'll see what I can show and or not to you. So I'm just going to put this into the desktop folder, which I have. Right, that's one picture. Just bear with me, guys. This is going to be very quick. And then you also will be able to see how that cluster looked when first came here. Because I always take a picture before taking it apart. What I show, the needle just laying in there. And I also take pictures of the back. Actually, I don't think it is much information in here. Probably on the last one. Yeah, that's where his bin number. So let me just read this part to you. It says, sorry, it's because it's in Spanish. He says it has a chore because it doesn't come on. The check engine light comes on sometimes, and the immobilizer comes on sometimes. Not really too helpful, but we can reproduce that here. It says sometimes the gauges don't work either. So sometimes and sometimes nothing works. All right, so let me save that in there. As you see, very descriptive. Yep, this is a different type of picture, so not a problem. And I can bring this down. I'm just going to open those pictures so we can all see that. Perfect. All right, so let me get you back into the screen recording. So we can see this is the way the cluster came before I took it apart. We have that needle broken in here. Just going to go, so I did a zoom to see that. The back of the instrument cluster. Keys. And I show his information. Well, it's just a phone number, so I don't think it's going to be that much of a problem. And this is the big number. So yeah, not much to see there. All right, so we got the PDF in here. The most important PDF that I need is powers and grounds and also the connectors, right? So we can see or we'll see what we see, right? So let me get one of my harnesses in here. And I have that attached in here. Well, I can always come back to that. So for this I have created, I'm going to turn my power supply on. So it's ready to when we need it. Oh, you guys are not seeing what I'm doing. Okay, perfect. All right, so for this I make a universal connector for my universal test box. All right, so I'm gonna need my glasses. It's gonna be a little hard to do this with all you guys in there, but it will be possible. All right, so most of the stuff that I need, let me actually put the color diagrams, which are there too as well, because I mark in the color diagram what I need from each connector. So we have, and for my testing in here, I can just do powers and grounds. I don't need to really go into ignition or so unless I'm actually checking for something like that, right? So I have selected in here. These are communications and these are power. So we have pins 5. All right, so we have, this is the one with 18. Let me just see where pin 1 is because I have not checked that. Okay, yes. Okay, so we have actually marked. So the connector facing this way to me is pin 1 to 9 and then 10 to 18. And then in here we got pin 1 to 13 and 14 to 26. All right, so we said that we need pins 5. I'm going to try to just power up one side. Otherwise, I'm going to have to put another connector, which is not a problem. I can always do that. So I'm going to do this live, guys. So hopefully you like it, and hopefully this is the content you like to see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are a little too small for what I have in here. All right, let me get the other connector. These are too big for those, the pins that I have in there, but I got more. Yep. Now let's see what I can do here. This is a little more brittle or harder cables to use in here. Well, we're gonna have to work with that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, pin 5. Well, pin 5 and pin 10 is a ground. On that connector, well, since I'm using this one, I'm going to try to do both connectors. We said pin 5 and pin 10. So pin 10 should be this first one on the corner. And on the other connector, the one with more pins, right? So the one on that side, we have 1 and 2 as power. It's going to use the yellow, so it's very easy for me to just come like that. So 1 and 2. Because I'm not even going to put communication. I'm just going to see if it powers up or not. And then 14 is a ground, which should be the first one on the top. Looks like I'm gonna have to close this connector or use another one. I got another one in here. These are very, very tiny, teeny pins. All right, let's see if it powers up or not. I'm gonna have to get this closer to there. Let it go. I'm gonna hold this with this little clip I have in there. Let's see what we see, right? Yeah, you guys having a very good view of that. I'm gonna turn my power supply on, and I have yellows and red. So one power, just to revisit that. So we got one power and pin 5 on the connector with 18 pins. And then on 10, we have the ground, which should be good in there. Just double check, guys, because this is very important. Yeah, everything is good. Hopefully, I got a very good connection. I did see a little bit of a power. Okay, so yeah, we got power. And definitely we got the anti-theft on, which is, I mean, obvious, but it's powering on. All right, so if that is the case, let me put can high, can low. Can high, can low should be on this pin, on that connector, the small one. So you see right here on 8 and 9. So for the can, I actually have another, you guys are not seeing that, so I got, again, bear with me. I got more stuff coming where I can just press the button. I need to get used to this to be, changing the captures and everything, but I'm trying my best for you guys. So I need DLC right here. Okay, that's the DLC. All right, so in the DLC we have powertrain instrument cluster. So this one is going into 14. So pin 8 is can low. Oh, it actually says it in here, right? All right, so right here on the look at the right corner of the screen on the bottom, you'll see what it says instrument cluster 60-4. That's a connector that has, again, the C228. And if we see, which I have marked in here, C228 is the one with 18 pins. So 8, and actually it says it in here. I shouldn't not even open that. So 8 is kind of low. So let me connect that. Hopefully you guys can a little hear me in there. So because I need to put this on. So let me get kind of high and kind of low, which I have on this harness as well. There's two different wires in here, two different sizes of wires. All right, so kind of low goes into 8, and 8 is, there's one right here. Again, I'm trying to get this live. Okay, 8 is that, and then, well, very easy. The next one is gun high. All right, so that should be good enough. All right, so the next thing I want to do, hopefully this is not too bright. All right, you guys are seeing now what I need to do is get a scanner in here. All right, so let me get the PCI. Right, got the MDCI connected, and let's power the scanner, right? This little stood up. I should have come down. I'm gonna just hold this in my legs so you guys, if I need to show you something, let's power this up. So it is powering up every single time. And that movement of the needles is completely normal. The blinking on there, I mean, we have no anti-theft, nothing set up in here, but let me see if we have communication. All right, since nothing else is there, right, so we're gonna go into tap done. Hopefully, guys, yes, I think you got, with that camera, you guys are seeing good. All right, so I'm not going to do an auto scan or nothing like that because that's just an instrument cluster. We're gonna go into scan, at least this is on the tap done scanners, right? So we're going to American 4, click OK on all these prompts. All right, so we got this all good here. We're going to do a manual selection, vehicle selection, Ford, and this is an E series. Um, let's see with the big number what it says. You're not going to be looking at this. It's not really that important. It's just to look into the big number. What engine is this? Because this is an E-250, so it should be a 7.3 or something like that. Right now, it's actually a 4.6. Okay, so this is a gasoline one. So 4.6 V8, so we're going to select 4.6. That was just an Identifix to see what the, all right, 2 valve, 2008. All this is just selections that I'm actually telling you. Hopefully, since I have not used this way, you guys are looking good. But this camera has a very good resolution, so hopefully this is coming well. All right, set the ignition on, and it is on. All I'm looking right now is to see if I can talk to the instrument cluster. And I do not like, having clusters torn apart or anything like this, because you can always get blamed for somebody else's problems or what they did. And I mean, I can check what I can see, right? So I don't know if they flexed it and they broke something. So it's very hard. And this is what I always try to explain to people. When somebody else's touches or flexes or is already open like this, I don't have an X-ray machine that can see the entire board. I can see what, like right now, is working. The gauges are working. So you see what I'm trying to explain. So if you put them in the car and now it gets screw in and then now flexes the board, I might miss things like that, right? So well, it is communicating. So let's read the full code. Just the CMDTS, which is constant memory faults or continuous memory too. Either way you want to name it. So key and ignition error, battery voltage, missing communication with the PCM, that's completely fine. CAN bus error. Yeah, I don't see what it says in here. Missing communication with vehicle security control module. Vehicle security control module. I didn't see that in here. All I see it was pads. Let me just show you 1 second. So let me put the scanner here. All right, so you guys got the scanner in there. All right, so let me go into the screen recording so you guys can see. So looking at the diagram, this is the original diagram on the car. I didn't see anything as far as the anti-theft part. It shows only the passive anti-theft transceiver connected directly to the instrument cluster. On 4, I'm very used to when that is because the anti-theft or the pass system is included on the cluster. Missing communication with vehicle security control module. All right, let's go over to the CAN OEM DLC. This should have all the CAN players. Anti-lock, powertrain, so different types of, like if it's diesel or not. Well, let's go over to Identifix and see if we see anything else as far as wire diagrams. Let's go not to the original, let's go to the color one, right? And we're gonna go over to because you see this, we got the passive anti-theft system, which I think that's what I have in there. Nothing else is supposed to be there. Just the key and the instrument. I mean the transceiver, the one I just showed you, and the instrument cluster. I don't think I need anything else. And and if we see right here, it also says force entry. That maybe is what this is looking for, communication with the vehicle security control module. So that is just security for the door locks and stuff like that. Oh yeah, vehicles, you see right corner, vehicle security module VSM. It should be here. Vehicle security module VSM. So yeah, this is just for the door locks. So we don't care about that. So the way this is right now, um, hmm, his concerns, gauge is not working, an anti-theft system. I'm going to have to request to him to bring me the key or keys of the vehicle because if I can erase the keys and program my keys in here, but then this is his closer. When I give it back to him, he's going to have to program the keys, so that's a lot more work for him than it is for me here. So I think the best thing to do is just to stop and request the key so we can perform a full test, at least from the anti-theft system. So the next thing that I want to do since we're here, oh, and I forgot always to change the camera, so let me cover that. So what I was saying is, and you didn't need it to see is, I don't want to erase the keys because it will be more work for them. So I'm going to go over to actuation tests. I'm a little worried about that needle. Let me see how the needle looks and see if I can do anything to put it back. Um, yeah, it's completely broken up because this is give me 1 second, guys. My glasses on. Gonna try to keep the microphone as close as possible to see if you guys can hear me. Because this has definitely happened when somebody, when whoever tried to open this up. And I need just to see if the gauge is moving properly. Yeah, it's definitely completely broken, but it's holding. All right, guys, I put the needle in there at least to create, to perform the actuations. So we're gonna start with the speedometer. Right, that's right here. Let's see what we have in here. The speedometer value. Not sure what that. It says 327.7. I guess that's maximum, and then off. As you see right there, it's moving good. I didn't see nothing wrong with that. All right, that's just because every time that's the actuation, it goes into like testing. All right, so go over to tachometer. Yes, we do have the tachometer. It looks like this is just going to do a sweep. Yep, it is going to 6,000. You can see that. And then off. That is also working good. Nothing wrong with that one. It's going to do the same every time, all right? So that's completely normal operation. Um, Temperature gauge. Hope I wish, well, right now you see the battery went down. Every time it's in test and goes into there. All right, so we got temperature degrees in 32 degrees. So let's raise it up. Yeah, I can change the temperature. Well, it's kind of weird. It's giving me weird values, minus 40. Hopefully you guys can see that in there. See, I'm trying to change the temperature. It says temperature gauge degrees, and no, that's definitely not working because it's going, you see, it went from minus 5 to 28 degrees, but 28 degrees Fahrenheit, that's cold. I mean, that ain't gonna move nothing. And then when I try to go higher, it goes into minus 40. That's a problem when you're using a Chinese tool. So let's see if we have yes. Um, okay, we do have the temperature gauge. That's the one we're going to use. This is just going to do the sweep. All right, so let's do it. Yeah, that went to full right here, right? All right, so let's go off. So it looks like with this one, we only can do a sweep. So we have done these three. Let's go into the battery indicator. Might not be able to do that one. That's the battery indicator is based on voltage. So in order to change that, I will have to come into here and change the volts. So right now I'm in 14. I can come down to like 12. Yes, and I can see it moving. Hopefully you guys, you see how much that went down. I'm going to go up to like where I was, and you can see because that temperature, I mean, sorry, the voltage won't, like, I don't think it will change. Just looking for the other one. So we got a speedometer, tachometer, temperature gauge, fuel gauge, indicator, control. Let me see. Yeah, this is it. And it went to full and then to off. The other one is oil. So far, everything is passing the test. Hopefully you guys can see well in there. I hope I'm not too far out of focus because that camera will try to do out of focus. Oil pressure warning lamp, temperature gauge. We got indicators in here. Voltmeter placement, command voltage. Oh yes, I can change it. So I can do the changes on that one. Is look like it's going good. Let me see. Yes, it is changing. You see? So it is. Yeah, it is operational. I can do changes in here. Cause now I can go. You see, high voltage. That's 18.27. So that one worked good. Let's see if we can do something like that in the oil pressure. That's the only one that I have not seen. Fuel gauge. Yeah, because that's oil temperature. It's not oil pressure, it's oil temperature. So that might be transmission. Not sure. Checking your light, he said also that checking your light sometimes doesn't work. I mean, or comes on, because it is working. All right, so no, I don't see nothing about oil. The only thing I see is oil indicator, oil pressure warning lamp, which is right here. You see, right now all the lights went out because I'm now checking the bulb. So on and off. You see that's working. When I come here, all should come on, and we have the low fuel warning. So even if the display is coming on perfectly, I can do all the crystals on the LCD test as well. That is just right here. Hopefully you guys are seeing. I hope because I don't know exactly how much you guys can see or not, but on, yeah, all the segments are, it's just dashes in there, but yep, all that is good. So oil, tachometer gauge, engine over temperature line, no, temperature gauge. Come on, how can you have something in here and not in the scanner, right? All warning lamps. Sometimes I cannot see it, but it's there, so that's why I'm going back and forth because sometimes it's just my eye plays like fools me. All right, speedometer, tachometer indicator, fuel indicator, temperature gauge degrees, illuminated entry, low fuel warning, oil pressure warning, we already went there, engine over temperature light. That's coolant temperatures, it should not be, no matter what, that's a light. Fuel gauge indicator, control percentage, safety, all LCD, we already checked that, speedometer, kilometers an hour, tachometer, anti-theft indicator, stability, tire pressure, anti-theft enable, electric throttle command, electric throttle control module request range telltale. So yeah, we don't have nothing to control that one. And that could also possibly be that is not a message. The reason we can change all that is because those are most of them coming into a CAN bus message. So if we see the diagram, let me go over to the color, which is probably the fastest one, even though I deselected. Let me see if I can see the oil pressure indicator. No, because that should be that one. That looks like temperature, right? Because, well, it could be pressure low and high too, so hard to say. And I don't have anything in the oil. I keep going back and forth. Oil pressure warning. Yeah, I don't see nothing in there. Because that is an 813. 813 goes to right here, so it's an oil pressure switch. So no, I don't see nothing as far as temperatures or pressure. The only other thing I can do is go over again to Identifix and then go into the OEM diagrams. Not that one, I select the wrong one. Go into the diagrams and select the OEM ones. So in here, I always select just to choose over 100. And then we got the cluster, and this is just for the light. But the nice thing about when you're working with Identifix and that it has access to the OEM wiring is that you can click on these blue links, like right here. It says instrument cluster. You see, like look at the red hand and now a red arrow. When I click in there, that will take me over to the pages that are specifically for that instrument cluster. So let's just look for let's go over to page 1 to start in order, right? And see if we can see the oil pressure or oil temperature, whatever that is, because we don't know that. And since I don't have the car, low oil pressure is a switch. Again, I don't see, at least not in the diagram, it's not showing any type of resistance. So it shows this as a switch. So it's an oil pressure switch. So that's not in here. So page 3. Let me go to the tab. So we got illumination, fuel level. Then we got MSCAN, which is another network with part of like the pass entry, not the pass entry, the door locks and all that stuff. We got charge indicator, and charge indicator. Diesel, and gasoline engines. Nothing in here. So let's go over to page 4. And guys, this is what I do all the time, right? So yes, if you think that this is like alone and tedious, yeah, well, that's exactly what I do all the time, especially when I don't have all the information from a vehicle. Traction control and CAN, all right, so nothing in here either. 2 more pages, we can do really quickly that. High beam, door ajar, and then last page 6. Yeah, I don't see at least nothing in here. Yeah, I don't see nothing that is in here, so it's not a direct wire. The only direct wire that we have is the oil pressure. Not sure if this will change. Let me see if I can do something. No, because I will keep coming back to here and over temperature light and or let me just try to do that over temperature light and see what that does. All right, so you guys are not looking at that, so that will be Control D. All right, you guys are back into my camera. So I am on the lights. I'm going to turn the engine over temperature light on, and it's right here. But that's cooling enough. Yeah, that's nothing to do with that gauge. We already put the oil pressure warning lamp, low fuel, temperature gauge, and I honestly don't want to put more into this. Yeah, I think guys, this is enough for this test. I cannot reproduce what he says that no gauges are working, and the only thing I can reproduce, but it's because I don't have the key, is the anti-theft. But the rest, as you guys saw in the test, everything is working properly. So not sure. Let me do one thing now, just because of the sake of the video. I'm going to wiggle the actual board to see if it comes off. But no, you see, it's not even flickering, which is not a common thing on these ones. So let me just stop the video here, make this part one. I'm going to contact them to get me the key and request more information exactly how is this happening because um, definitely I cannot reproduce it here. So, and this is the only reason I'm working this late is almost 9:20 p.m. is because this is a local customer. I try to give the local customers when they have a computer or something, I work on the night. Like that, I can help them out because I know they have a customer waiting for the part, right? Okay, guys. Thank you so much for visiting the channel, and don't forget to subscribe. I hope that you like the new view. I'm trying to give you as much as possible right now. I will be obviously having the microscope connected. I'm using it now for the camera that you guys are watching right now. So because I only have a one capture cam link 4K and I'm going to do the other camera here, so I'm going to give you a better experience. So please leave me some of the comments. Tell me what you think. You like the captions? I mean, not the caption, the quality of the video. You like the interaction of me changing the cameras, and see if this is the content you're looking for. All right, guys. See you next time. Bye bye.